of Allah, and sabr, patience in respect to others. Otherwise, our ego will cause us to come close to outright shirk, or thinking that we are Allah and that our opinions matter so much that either we force it on others, or we take their lives, or we take their livelihood, or we take their opportunities in our own hands. This is why the Quran reprimands Pharaoh. Moses said, "Be careful of your Lord," and Pharaoh said, "I am the Lord." Therefore, we manifest the Jalal attributes as qualities restrained by the commandment of Allah's will. This commandment is the same as the ma'aruf, the well-known, well-established common sense in the order of the universe. This is why the Quran also talks about Din al-Fitr, the natural order. It makes sense to be commanded not to take the life of the innocent. We should know this by our own minds. In case we do not, the Quran then reminds us. This is how the divine wisdom is available to all humankind. This is how all humankind are equal. We are not better because we are Muslims. We are, however, held responsible because in addition to this natural order of things, we also have revelation from Allah. It is not possible then for us to say that we do not know right from wrong. Human beings have a unique potential in a state of perfection known in Sufism as al-insan al-kamil. This perfection stems from the human capacity to integrate all the forms of the divine names. It does not mean that all actual individuals can reach this ideal, but rather that humanity as a whole has an extraordinary capacity. This is a capacity to reach towards a certain potential ethical ideal. Those who realized and embodied this archetype in historical actuality are the prophets and the saints, the holy men and women known in the Quran as al-awliya, the friends of the beloved. They are those who strove with mind, body, and souls with complete devotion and who make their lives over in total surrender to the divine will. The divine names are the special link between the unknown essence of Allah as Zat and the human creation. These names are not fixed entities, but indicators of a relationship with Allah as creatures, and us as with Allah as creator and us as creatures. These names show us a special function to align our nature with the nature of the divine so that we can come to know of Allah while we begin our lives with that knowledge and the constant awareness of Allah. In this respect, Allah and humankind are a mirror to one another. Humans cannot lay claim to the divine nature autonomously. We can only claim them in relationship to the Creator, whose essence is the totality of the names. Ibn Arabi says the root of every name held by existence, that is, us as humans, belong in reality to al-Haq, the real, Allah. When the names are applied to human creatures, then we only assume the quality or trait of these names. They become virtues in another sense. For example, only Allah is the All-Merciful. We can manifest the traits of mercy, as well we should. The ideal state of al-insan al-kamil is that state which reflects harmony and balance in the divine qualities. In reality, people have an endless variation of these qualities in accordance to the full range of human diversity and pluralism. Likewise, our actions reflect a wide range of this capacity for harmony and balance. Neither of these states are static. At different times in our lives, we make manifest different aspects at various levels in accordance to our surrender to the divine will and our spiritual moral maturation. However, it is always important to observe the limits of each attribute and not to step outside the relationship of balance invoked between the Jalal and the Jamal divine names. Therefore, the Jalal names constitutes aspects of divine majesty. We cannot have this majesty. This majesty is what makes Allah divine. These are those which support the idea in the Quran, Laysa kamithlihi shay, that Allah is not like shay or things. Things in the created realm are dual, and Allah is one. In the development of Islamic intellectual sciences or ulum, the focus on the law, sharia, or fiqh, jurisprudence, was one way in which Muslim scholars focused on Allah's incompatibility, or jalal aspect. Our response is only to obey. But if you think about the logic of those who do harm on the earth, those who violate the rights of others, those Muslims who think they are better than other people of other religions, then you see the logic is akin to taking on these uluhiyya, these jalal names, as though we are one and the same. It is easy to see how this leads to violation of human dignity, to exploitation of human rights, to destruction of life and property. That is perhaps why the spiritual tradition of Islam, at-tasawwuf, stress the Jamal attributes of rububiyyah. This is also why I think we must choose to emulate the Jamal attributes in order to bring about a change in our world today. Allah says, "My mercy is greater than my wrath." If the Lord on high can prioritize his own gentle and kind nature, then the solution for us mere human beings should be self-evident. We need a gentler, kinder humanity. We need to learn the valuable lessons of interdependency and mutual support for one another. Thus, we see the feminine characteristics of Allah, those names like love, compassion, mercy, and forgiveness are those which we should stress because we are so tightly interrelated. No action performed anywhere on the earth goes unnoticed at some deep cosmic level at other places on the earth. Take the environment. We have depleted the earth's resources in the last 50 years more than thousands of years before that. Who knows how this will affect us ultimately? Moreover, each of us lives in communities, from our immediate families to our neighbors to the nations, all a part of the great ship, the planet Earth. If every surah in the Quran, except one, begins in the name of Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most merciful, the most compassionate, then even this ultimate and divine source of guidance is tempered not only by the power and glory of Allah, but by her mercy and kindness. If you think about it again, this is self-evident. It is clear that for us to lower the wings of mercy over our fellow human beings is by far more excellent than to destroy one another. Here is how this construction works. On the one hand, we are morally responsible, or Khalifa, on the earth. On the other hand, the Quran makes it clear we cannot fulfill this agency unless we observe the other human characteristic described over and over in the Quran, the role of servant, or abd. We are abd of Allah, willing and devoting servants of his divine essence, Azat. We perform our worship and devotion through our moral agency or khilafah on the earth. There is a duality in our role of human beings, reflected in our ibadah, our worship and our service, and our khilafah, our agency and responsibility. Some of the Sufis have depicted this dual role of the human being to show that from the perspective of our relationship with Allah, we are abd,